Classic art is amazing. You know, Mona Lisa, Starry Night by Van Gogh. But when it comes to modern art, some people scratch their heads. What's even crazier is that some pieces sell for millions. I mean, really? Even toddlers with free hand on crayons can create better art than that. So, what's the deal? Could there be more to it? Before we unravel this mystery, make sure to subscribe, and if you're enjoying the video, give it a thumbs up. Okay, let's get back to our topic. Modern art with its abstract form and cool techniques has always been a bit of a debate. Some people love how creative and innovative it is, while others wonder if it's really worth all the fuss. Now here's the interesting part. Recently, some people have been saying that modern art isn't just about paintings and sculptures. They think there's some sneaky money business going on behind the scenes. But is this true? Let's find out. Before we jump into the whole talk about modern art and money laundering, let's first understand what modern art really is. Modern art is basically a mix of different art styles that came about in the late 1800s and 1900s. It's all about breaking away from the usual rules of art and trying out new ways to show stuff, like doing things differently. Now here's where it gets a bit weird. Some people are saying that modern art isn't just about being creative. They think it's being used for sneaky money stuff, like money laundering. But why would anyone think of that? What's the deal with accusing modern art of being a cover for something like money laundering? One thing in the modern art world that makes people wonder about money laundering is how it's treated as an investment. Famous artworks by well-known artists become like super expensive things you can buy, especially at auctions where prices go crazy high. It's not just art fans buying these masterpieces, investors are on it too, and they're hoping to make a lot of money out of them. But the question is, how does this whole art investment thing connect to money laundering? One reason people suspect modern art is used for money laundering is because buying and selling art can be private. Unlike buying a house or other regular stuff, art deals can happen in secret, and who owns what might not be known to the public. It gets even trickier when people use companies that are just on paper and accounts in faraway places to handle these art transactions. This secrecy makes it hard to figure out who's really buying and selling. Plus, some folks might use this cover to do shady money stuff, like money laundering. And there's more to it. Ever wonder why some not-so-great art sells for crazy high prices? It's all part of the puzzle. Talking about money laundering and modern art, there's this whole debate about how some art pieces seem totally random and way too high. People argue that the art market can be played with, and prices get pumped up on purpose, maybe to help with money laundering. Here's how. Some artworks might get bought at crazy high prices, making illegal money look legit, because now it's tied to this item that's supposed to be worth a ton. And here's the thing. Art is easy to move around. Unlike big things like houses, art is portable. So if someone wants to shift their money across borders without anyone noticing, art is a pretty handy way to do it. It fits right into the sneaky plans of money laundering schemes. So auction houses and galleries are like the middlemen in the art world, connecting buyers and sellers. But some folks say that they're not being careful enough about where the money for art purchases is coming from. There's this pressure to make big sales and impress rich clients, which might mean they're not checking things as closely as they should. This could accidentally let money laundering happen, disguised as legal art deals. Here's the thing. The art world doesn't have as strict rules as banks and other financial places. Even though people are trying to stop money laundering in art, there are not enough solid rules in place. And since art deals happen all over the world, it's even trickier to keep an eye on everything. So how do we stop this money laundering? Let's talk about that next. To make sure art stays away from money laundering, we need to be super careful when people buy and sell it. The places where they sell art, like auction houses and galleries, should really check out who's involved to make sure they're good and not up to anything fishy. Doing a thorough background check is important to see if the buyer had done anything wrong before. Well, that's one surefire way to prevent money laundering. Let's say every artwork had a checklist that showed who owned it before. This list would make it hard for the bad guys to hide their money tricks. So if authorities and art experts have this list, they can check to make sure everything's cool and nothing suspicious is going on. And teamwork between the art world and banks is essential to stop money laundering through art. When they share information and collaborate, it creates a strong partnership against illegal activities. Banks and art businesses working together can identify suspicious transactions or patterns that suggest financial wrongdoing. This collaboration acts like a strong bridge connecting the finance and art worlds in the fight against money laundering. But now the question is there a more dependable way to prevent money laundering through art? Maybe a technology that can handle this complex task on its own? Before we talk about blockchain, let's rediscuss what money laundering is. So let's start with a simple idea. Money laundering is when someone tries to hide where their money comes from. They might do this by buying things like art to make the money look clean and good. But we want to make sure art stays pure and happy, right? That's where blockchain comes in. To understand blockchain, let's check out this example of a notebook that keeps all the records of who owns what. But here's the cool part. It's not just one notebook. It's like trillions of notebooks that everyone can see. And once something is written in these notebooks, no one can change it. Now let's see how this blockchain helps art stay away from money laundering. The good thing about blockchain is that it helps us track the ownership history of an art piece. Every time the art goes to a new person, it gets added to that history. This makes it easy for everyone to know the backstory of the art and stops bad guys from hiding where their money came from. Remember the magic part of blockchain? Once something is written down, it stays that way forever. This means no one can sneak in and change the records. So if someone tries to pretend that they own the art when they didn't, blockchain catches them. It's impossible for the bad guys to do black money stuff. Why? Because blockchain is extremely transparent, so when everyone can see all the records of an art piece, it makes it harder for bad people to do money laundering. The more eyes watch it, the safer the art becomes. It watches for any weird patterns in how the art is bought and sold. If it sees something fishy, like too much money moving around too quickly, it raises an alarm. This helps everyone spot bad money activities before they can cause trouble. Bad people like to keep secrets, right? Well, blockchain doesn't like secrets. When art transactions are recorded on blockchain, it becomes super hard for bad people to keep secrets. Money laundering through art is a very concerning situation. After all, it takes away from the true meaning and value of art. Instead of appreciating art for its creativity and expression, it turns it into a tool for illegal activities. You should remember that not all modern art is linked to money laundering. Art is diverse, and people create it for various reasons. While there might be cases where art is misused for illegal money activities, we should be careful not to judge all modern art based on these concerns. Each piece of art has its own story and purpose. Besides, minimal art is a whole genre in itself. So while something may seem very bad to you, it can be beautiful to another person. You know, one person's trash is another person's treasure. If we're sure about anything, it's that linking modern art to money laundering is a complicated and debated topic. Some signs suggest that the art market could be involved in shady money stuff, but it's important to think about it with an open mind. Not all deals involving modern art mean money laundering. Many genuine art lovers and investors add to the lively world of today's art. Also, while we keep talking about how modern art and money might be connected, it's important to find the right balance. We want to make sure the art market is transparent, but at the same time, we don't want to hold back the creative freedom that makes contemporary art unique. As the art world deals with these challenges, one thing is for sure, modern art's charm will stick around, and it will draw both praise and doubt. Whether modern art is on purpose bad or not is a really tricky puzzle. Some people see art just as a way to clean dirty money. They spend millions on terrible art pieces, but there are many different kinds of art. Think about minimal art, for example. In this style, the art is meant to be super simple. Just a few brushstrokes. It's tough to judge this type of art. The best we can do is take steps to prevent money laundering through modern art. There are many ways to do this, but using blockchain technology is probably the best option. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. See you in the next video.